bin jetzt durch die ganzen News, die ich erfahren habe, ein bisschen mehr hyped auf den One Piece Film. Da muss ich meiner Freundin das Passwort aus dem Rücken leiern oder ich gucke den einfach mit ihr. Ach nee, ich muss ja. Und wo ist denn Deutsch? Bin ich dumm? Deutsch. Ach, das hast du noch drin. Was ist denn hier los? Deutsch. Oder manchmal setzen. Ja, warum? Wähl das doch aus. Hä? Bist du dumm?
There were multiple straw hats for different scenes. There was a specific type of straw hat for the white shots. There was like another type of straw hat for the close-ups. Sometimes they had to change straw hats. There was a fight scene straw hat. Every single straw hat felt special to me. Hi, I'm Iñaki Godoy, and this is how I became Monkey D. Luffy in One Piece.
I like it.
I remember that for my audition, and I played this YouTube video that was like, oh, who is Monkey D. Luffy? Let's analyze this character. And I just listened to that video for like an hour, and I realized that the main thing about Luffy was his smile. So I thought to myself, if I can have that smile in my audition, I think I have a good shot at making.
Wenn das Smile sein soll, dann hat das, glaube ich, nicht so genailt.
So I thought to myself, if I can have that smile in my audition, I think I have a good shot at making this character. And hey, I think it worked. I remember that for my audition scene, I was talking with Kobe. I didn't know it was Kobe at the time, but my audition scene was the scene where we're at the dinghy after fighting Elvita. I remember when I did my first read of that audition, I was a little bit more serious. You know, there's like a boat in flames behind me. Like, you know, that sounds like some serious stuff. And I sent that audition, and then I got some feedback, and it was like, I know there's a boat, like, on fire, but your character, he's chilling, man. He's, like, fine. So I sent the audition again. This time, no drama at all. And hey, that's how I got my callback. My mom received a WhatsApp, and it was like, we want you to play Monkey D. Luffy. I was really, really excited, and then it hit me like, wow, this is gonna change my life. And then I got a little bit nervous. And then I got really excited again. I didn't get to meet with Oda during the audition process. I did get to meet him later down the line. And I remember I asked him that question, like, why me? Why did you like me? And he said that I made him laugh in my audition.
Das glaube ich nicht so schwer ist, weil die Jokes manchmal pretty bad sind bei One Piece.
Challenge. He is very explosive, very optimistic. He's a crazy guy in a lot of ways, but he's also kind. And he doesn't speak too much. He listens a lot. To me, it felt like Luffy was an optimistic, big dreamer who cares about his friends.
No one messes with my friends.
Who's brave, who's committed, and who will do anything for his dreams. So understanding that was a key factor for me to play this character, and then after that, it was finding a balance between how can I be fun, energetic, and crazy, but also keep this real, you know?
Hi, Yami Yuga. Es ist tatsächlich langsam Schlafenszeit, ja. Ich habe mich jetzt nach 1 Stunde 50 Nacken, Muskelschmerzen, Dehnung ein bisschen müde gemacht. Und ja. Aber ich weiß nicht, ob ich schlafen kann. Das wäre, wenn ich mich ins Bett lege und hoffe, dass ich schlafen kann, dann und ich dann noch 3 Stunden wach liege, dann bin ich richtig pisst. Aber eigentlich ja. Ich hatte eigentlich vor, noch ein bisschen zu zocken, aber ich müsste eigentlich ins Bett gehen, da hast du richtig recht.
How do I find that balance? And honestly, that was just a lot of work with my directors. I had this director called Mark Jobs of the first 2 episodes, amazing director. And he used to tell me that he was my parachute. So I could try things. Let's make a funny face on this one, you know? I'm gonna really open my eyes here and I'm gonna scream out loud. And if you think it's too much, you let me know. So knowing that I could trust my team to get out of my comfort zone really gave me a safety to, you know, try to be unique. Because Luffy...
Ach, schwierig. Wird das cool? Also die Hoffnung steigt. Aber vielleicht wird der Fall einfach nur unglaublich insane, wenn es einfach kacke ist.
is extraordinary, so you need to be different. I immediately knew who Luffy was in the Elvita fight. I was watching the anime, and it didn't take me long to understand who this guy was. He
What? Hat das erst seit der Rolle? Oder als sie die Audition gekriegt hat, sich das angeguckt, nicht vorher?
to be different. I immediately knew who Luffy was in the Elvita fight. I was watching the anime, and it didn't take me long to understand who this guy was. He sees a person who has been mistreated. He doesn't really know them, and yet he decides to help them. And when he does that, he does it with a smile. He gets into a fight, and he's smiling because he enjoys being a pirate. I think growing up, I was a lot
Oh, wollen sie Alvida dann dünn machen? Haben wir jetzt eine Schauspielerin genommen und sie dick gemacht? Oder nimmt die Schauspielerin dann ab?
like Luffy in some ways.
Aber ist das überhaupt eine Serie oder ein Film? Ich
I
bin
had
nicht ganz
no
durch.
worries in the world. Everything was so much fun. And I think Luffy is like that too. Luffy is a rubber man. This was new to me. It was a challenge how that would work. I used the anime as a reference for how the rubber buddy reacts. I would see Luffy's fight scenes, the way he stretches, and
Ist eine Serie. Ist eine Serie, okay. Weil ich habe schon mehrere Szenen gesehen. Ich dachte mir, wie kriegen sie dann den Arc bis Arlong in einen Film gequetscht, ohne dass alles verloren geht?
And in the live action, I would try to replicate as much of that as I could. In the manga, in the anime, when Luffy throws out a punch and then it snaps back, he always puts his hand right here, you know? That's like a thing that he does. So that's a thing that I can like literally translate into live action with no problem. So like I can keep that. I watched the anime, I mainly saw the
Was ich mir aber geil vorstellen könnte, wäre, wenn rein hypothetisch, die Serie würde weitergehen, irgendwann er gegen Bruno Gear 2.
Japanese dub. Mayumi Tanaka has been
Gear Secondo.
voicing Luffy for a very long time, since 1999.
だから刀が欲しければ俺の仲間になれ
And what she has done is amazing, amazing. And I would never try to replicate any of that because that's her own thing. She created her own version of this character. And I have to do my own thing with the live action too. So, you know, more than paying attention to what the dub actors were doing, I really just paid attention to what the character was all about.
行ってみようっと頑張るぞ
The anime is great as it is. I would never try to replicate it. I mean, that's why it's been going for so long. And live action needs to stand by its side. My voice in Spanish is a lot deeper. Si me escuchan hablar ahorita en español, hablo muchísimo más grave que mi personaje de Luffy. So yeah, my voice in Spanish is like way deeper than Luffy's voice in English. I found his voice just with time. It just appeared. I'm feeling so piratey. And slowly with time, I started to speak more like this, you know, more like, oh, wow, and being a little bit more loud, and it just came natural. The script is so good that it just pushes you to say the lines in a certain way. I remember the first time I put on the straw hat. It felt like, oh, wow, it's happening.
Ich krieg gerade das leichte Feeling, dass man dieses Interview in 10 Jahren benutzt wird, um zu zeigen, wie diese Rolle, diesen Schauspieler, diese junge, fröhliche Serie einfach nur kaputt gemacht hat. Drogenkonsum, Alkohol, Domestic Violence Charges.
It was a realization that
Ja. Hey, Zorro, what are you doing? No. Zorro, what are you doing? Hey, let me go, Luffy. Oh. Fuck off, Alter.
for the next 10 months, that character would be my life. While I was filming, I had a One Piece journal. So I had this little book. I put some pictures of Luffy in that book. And I also put some pictures of me when I was a little kid. Because Luffy reminds me a lot of me when I was a little kid. I also had notes on every episode on like, oh, these are like the key moments. Like, this is important, this is important, this is important. Like, this is where I'm coming from. This is where I'm heading to. And I also did some little exercises like, if Luffy did homework for his school about what is his dream, how would that look like? Well, you know, it would be like a drawing of him and his boat. It would be a horrible drawing, and they're all together, and it's like, my dream is to be a pirate, the king of the pirates. And then, you know, I just did like silly exercises like that, and you know.
Aber gibt's auch ja auf Japanisch mit den Voice Actern, which is pretty fucking nice.
I think they worked. A normal day for me on set. Here we go. I wake up. Normally, the pickup time would be around 5 a.m. We wanted to film on sunrise,
40 Minuten.
so we had to wake up early. I would get to set. I had this massive, like, sweatshirt slash blanket that I would put on the entire time, and sometimes I would just go to set on my pajamas because I was too lazy to put something on. I would get a set, I would go to the makeup trailer. At the first months of shoot, I remember I would go in the makeup trailer and we would like blast music and I would talk and chat and blah blah blah. By the last 4 months, I would sit on that chair and I would be gone. I would be exhausted. So I would normally take a nap in the chair while I was getting the makeup on, my scar. Then after that, I would put on my costume and I would head to set where we would film. And I remember I did this thing. I would go to set and I would arrive with a theme song. So I thought to myself, what is the most important
Ding ding, shame. Shame. Ding ding, shame. Aber das deutsche Intro von One Piece, das slammt richtig, das ist richtig geil. Ich habe mir damals auch als kleiner Junge, habe ich glaube ich zum Geburtstag die One Piece CD gekriegt. Die war geil. Da war auch ein leicht sexuell angehauchtes Lied von Sanji drauf.
part about Luffy? Well, he has fun, right? So what is my goal here as an actor to embody this character? Well, I want to have fun and I want to help create a fun environment. So every time I arrived on set, I would blast the John Cena theme song from the car.
Okay.
Sometimes it was the John Cena one, sometimes it was The Rock, sometimes I used to make The Undertaker, but not too many. John Cena was like the main thing. So I would...
Okay, das macht das. Also er scheint sehr gut zu passen, wenn er sagt, ey, John Cena Musik und so. So Ruffy würde es auch richtig, richtig geil finden. Wie er sich, war das Filler eigentlich, wo er sich mit Foxy geboxt hat, mit dem Afro? Auch funny as fuck.
arrive on set and people would know it was me because it was the John Cena song. They would greet me
John
and
Cena.
we would do some dances and then we would block the scene and we would shoot. There were scenes that took longer than others, but I don't think we ever did more than 3 scenes a day. By the time we were finishing, we got a little bit better. Maybe we would do 5 scenes a day. You not only
3 Szenen am Tag. Holy shit.
have the actors, but you have stunt people, you have extras, you have like the sets, you have special effects. There is so much going on, and you know, if we want it to be the best version it can be, we have to focus. So, you know, we did take our time with our scenes. There are many sets that were very impressive. The ships are great. Buggy's tent is amazing. When we were filming in Shellstown, I couldn't believe I just walked into a town just made for this show. The production designers on this show
Ist diese Serie das Gute, wofür Netflix die letzten Jahre alles geopfert hat? Sind die ganzen dummen Entscheidungen darin gemündet? Haben sie sich so viel Karma aufgebaut, dass sie einfach jetzt was Gutes machen? Ach Gott, ich freue mich zu sehr. Allein das zu sehen, weil ich habe mir auch was waren die andere Realverfilmung hier? Death Note? Habe ich auch nicht reingezogen.
are insanely talented. They created, I mean, this super
Ich glaube, ich muss meine Katze rauslassen.
interesting world, and I am just so grateful that I get to play inside of it. I remember one time Emily and I so grateful that I get to play inside.
Es ist so krass, so ein Anime in Real Life zu sehen. Allein diese rosa Kugeln.
Interesting world, and I am just so grateful that I get to play inside of it. I remember one time Emily and I had to film a scene where we're holding to a safe and then my character pulls the safe out from where it is to a window and we go flying in the air, so they had to like lift Emily and me up in the sky with a crane, and like if it was like some bungee, they just like let us drop with a camera filming us. I think it was in that moment where when I was suspended meters above the ground, I think it was in that moment when I realized like, oh wow, I have never filmed a scene in the sky. Or when I filmed underwater, that was also really wild. I would open my eyes and there would be divers with cameras filming me, and I have to act underwater. Oh wow, that is something new. The underwater scene was pretty hard physically because the water was freezing, but that was not the hardest scene to film. I think for me, the hardest scene to film, I had this one scene with Kobe in a dinghy.
Kobe haben sie auch gut getroffen. Wenn die Serie durchgeht und die älter werden, kannst du, oh Gott, geil. Und die können ja eigentlich, die haben ja so eine Vorlage. Die müssen sich nur dran halten. Und wenn Oda seine Finger mit drin hat, kann das eigentlich nicht schief gehen, wenn die erste Staffel gut ankommt. Skype ja. Mit Enel. Können sie einfach 1:1 Eminem nehmen. Oder Viper. Reject.
When we're talking about dreams and that he wants to be a Marine. That scene particularly, it was one of my first scenes that I filmed. It was a very important scene because Luffy is all about dreams. So I knew I had to get this scene right. This is what the character is all about. There were a lot of things that I did in that scene at the beginning that I changed. I did rehearsals for that scene with my director, and I think it worked out pretty well. But it definitely was a process getting to that point of, oh, like there's this side of Luffy that he...
Wer ist eigentlich der Regisseur? Ist das jemand, der die Serie mag und auch geguckt hat? Oder ist das jemand, der sagt, nein, ich will meinen eigenen Scheiß durchdrücken. Erste Staffel wird gut, zweite Staffel scheißen wir richtig rein. So wie bei Witcher. Das wäre richtig sad. Aua.
He is very kind and nice. He's not just a ball of energy. He's a ball of energy who listens. So for Luffy's powers, this is all like the special effects team. They are the ones that really made that magic come to life.
Und gut, dass er einen Shoutout an die Special Effects Leute gibt, die einfach abgrundtief schlecht bezahlt und überarbeitet werden.
If I would like punch in the air and that was it, you know, like I would throw a punch in the air, the other actor would have to react like 2 seconds later because the punch was stretching in post-production, and that was like what I did for those special effects scenes. At the beginning of the show, we were trying a lot of different things, and I remember I did have like this, they created like this long stretchy arm. I don't know if they ever used it. I know that me personally, I never used that long stretchy arm that they built. It was amazing though. Like if I could, I would keep that thing in my house just as a souvenir.
Sweet.
If there is one piece of advice, if there is one piece of advice I could give to any young actor, anyone who supports you will tell you, just have fun. You need to have fun. Because you don't know where life is gonna take you. I really just do what I do because I enjoy it. And if it was with Luffy, if it was with...
And I enjoy killing people. If you're good at something, let yourself get paid.
With any other character, big production, small production, I know that I'm gonna find a way to have fun because I got into this business and into acting because I love it. So my advice to you would be, regardless of where life takes you, just enjoy it. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it.
Meine Güte, der hat ja den Charakter richtig drauf, du. Den hat er richtig internalisiert. I love it.
Because you get to do something that you like, and it doesn't matter if it takes time when you're doing what you love. So have